Now, we all know that during the development cycle of Bioshock Infinite, there was a lot of content that was ended up cut or removed altogether. We can go back and look at the E3 2011 trailers, we can go back to older gameplay demonstrations, you get the picture. And as a matter of fact, a total of 3 to 5 games worth of content was actually cut. One of these specific things that I want to discuss in this video is that of the Vigor Junkie, and it's going to tie into Bioshock 1, especially Jack. So, without any further ado, sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy today's video. So the concept of the Vigor Junkie is a rather interesting and fascinating thing to sit down and research. I'm going to put a picture on the screen now of what they would have looked like in game, and this actually proposes a pretty good question. How much, in this case, vigor would affect a normal person? We can use the case of splicers in Rapture, but how would it affect the citizens of Columbia? Obviously, it affected them, or would have affected them, pretty heavily. The more vigors that they drank, the more and more that they would become mutated. And as shown by the picture, it was pretty extreme. They have things protruding out of their heads, basically like shock jockey or just whatever vigor they're actually addicted to or that they're constantly consuming. And again, it's really fascinating to know that this could have been in the game. This could have been a whole unique enemy that we could have come across. But ultimately it was cut. The only time we can actually see a Vigor Junkie is in Burial at Sea. More specifically, the Old Man Winter Splicer. If you guys want to go check that out for yourselves, I'd highly recommend playing Burial at Sea, or you can look at the picture on the screen now. So, you might be asking yourself, Eric, what the hell does this have to do with Bioshock 1 and specifically Jack? Well, that is a very good question, and I want to get into that right about now. Originally, during the development of the original Bioshock, Ken Levine and Irrational Studios, or developers in general, wanted to propose a moral dilemma to us, the fans and the players, and it would have been through Jack himself. So, obviously, it didn't make the final cut, but it's a rather interesting topic. Obviously, as you know, in Bioshock, the more you splice up, nothing happens. You just become a more powerful person. Well, this moral dilemma would have been very interesting. On one side, you could have spliced up as much as humanly possible. You could keep splicing and splicing and splicing, and eventually it would cost you your humanity. So Jack, going from the quote-unquote normal person we see at the beginning of the game, getting Electrobolt, getting all of these different plasmids, it would have actually caused him to mutate and become a splicer. Now, in terms of the overall look of him, I think it would have been similar to a Vigor Junkie, but at the same time, I'm sure that they would have came up with something suiting of Rapture. Now, here's the other side of the moral dilemma. If you wanted to play the game in its entirety without using plasmids, you could have done so, and this would have drastically changed the game overall. Whether it was the gameplay, your decision making, if you wanted to splice, when to splice, what to actually pick up, what to use, etc. The list goes on and on. Now, the thing I find most interesting is how drastically it would have actually changed the entirety of the game. As mentioned, you have the moral dilemma. On one hand, you can splice up, become powerful, have the potential to mutate and become a splicer and lose your humanity, or you have the other side of the coin. You splice very limitedly just to get by, and that way you can still protect yourself, but you still have your humanity. Now here's where things kind of get kicked up a notch. This would have drastically changed the game overall. First and foremost, how are you going to take on a mob of splicers or a Big Daddy or even Fontaine at the end of the game if you weren't allowed to use plasmids? That's where that moral dilemma comes in. Another one is that it would really drastically change your decision making and your thought process during your playthrough. You could either go stealth if you wanted to keep your humanity, or if you just basically said fuck it and wanted to go balls to the walls and splice up, you could just run through everybody, guns blazing, insect swarm flying out, incinerate at the snap of your fingers. You know what I mean. It also could have changed how you play in terms of tacticality. If you wanted to play stealth, you can do that. If you wanted to run and gun, that's completely up to you. The thing is, this could have definitely changed a lot in terms of Bioshock and how it played overall. Unfortunately, I think this was an extremely missed opportunity, or at least we could have had splicers that did this. Sure, we have people like the Houdini splicers, the spider splicers, etc., but can you imagine walking around Rapture and seeing something equivalent to the Vigor Junkie? Or hell, can you imagine actually having a spliced up Big Daddy that you have to fight? Again, huge missed opportunity, huge that it was actually a cut concept that should have made the game, that would have made the game if they had more time, but ultimately, like everything else that we know about cut content, it'll never see the light of day. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Do you think that mutating in terms of the times you splice would be a good thing, or do you think it wouldn't add anything to the game whatsoever? I'm genuinely interested in hearing your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. So ladies, gentlemen, and everybody else watching, I really do appreciate you watching the video up until this point. It means a lot. And also, thank you for the tremendous amount of support we've received within the last week. You guys are absolutely incredible, and you keep me motivated to continue to make videos and live streams and brainstorm video ideas, etc. So, thank you. I owe you so much. If you enjoyed today's video and want to see more Bioshock or other video game content in the future, would you kindly hit that subscribe button, leave a like on the video, and hit that bell and turn on all post notifications to never miss a future video or live stream? That is very much appreciated, and it genuinely helps out the channel, and it gets the videos into the algorithm, it gets our channel into the algorithm, and hopefully it inches our way closer to 50,000 subscribers. If you want to stay up to date with me outside of YouTube, my social medias and my Discord server are the best ways to do so, the links to which will be down in the description below. There's going to be a couple of videos popping up on screen now, which I would highly recommend checking out if you want to, of course. And with that being said, thank you all again so very much for watching. Take care, stay safe, and I will talk to you all in the next video. Take care, guys.